What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, going over what they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game. Since the last of these videos I've made, we've had the birthday update and nerfs to the Iron Man items and the War Machine hover jets. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe to see more, and let me know down in the comments below what you think of these changes. The birthday event, I feel like, really isn't the biggest deal, but the nerf to the Iron Man item, I think, is something that a lot of people were anticipating. It still is very good, though. And then same with the jetpack. The jetpack has gotten its eighth nerf at this point, and it's still probably the most important item in the game. I feel like each time they nerf it, it's just like one of those cases of like, oh, now you have to pay a little bit more attention when using this item. And it's still like the best thing in the game. And that's kind of how I feel about the most recent nerf to the War Machine hover jets. I'm going Raft this game. Always a POI that plays out kind of ratty and slow just because of how like tight and congested it is, but I feel like it's typically a pretty populated POI, and it's a gold POI this game, so maybe we get even more players landing here because of that. There's a few people. There's a good chest for good drop for the Doom chest up here, which is like a nice thing to land on. A lot of people obviously prioritize the Avengers chest or the potential utilities, but the Doom chests are also quite good because you just get two good high rarity weapons. Starting the game with that is great. We're gonna be on board with FN Jake XD. They got double AR off the rip. Controlling this top. Unfortunately, I haven't drank these minis yet. That's not great. This Deadpool can maybe do something about it. This is one of the problems, or like unfortunate aspects of not having Siphon in the game, is that like he gets like those kills, which is great, but like the time he uses to get those kills, he doesn't get shield. Like he doesn't drink the minis because he did that, and then now he's kind of like more restricted in what he can do in this fight. There's a gatekeeper here he's gonna grab, but this Deadpool is just kind of like sitting on top of him. He's gonna go for a zip up. He's only 100 HP though. I guess 150 is overshield. His overshield's gone, but his actual HP didn't really change. Only 27 damage. That's just such like unfortunate damage time and time again. Gonna go up again. This is probably dead here though. Oh, he gets the kill. Okay, but like that, this was just very 50-50, which is not good, but at the same time, like this is oftentimes a really populated POI, so there's no kind of telling that things are safe if he drops down into the bottom part, you know? Like maybe he drops down there and there's just someone hiding in the jail cell. So I feel like I can kind of understand why he was really like committed to those kills. Unfortunately, he has no mobility. If he had mobility to kind of push onto that, that'd be good. They end up disengaging the fight anyway, so there's a Fizz on top of the building next to him, but he again has nothing to get it. Minis, great. There is cake that was added for the birthday event down behind him. There's like multiple, there's like a cake on the far right of the POI, but also in front of them, it's in like kind of like on conveyor belts type thing, like where people would get food. What are you doing? You shouldn't drink the big pot, shoots the wall. Gonna be okay. There's someone landing on him, and they're probably gonna know he's here because of the healing. Gatekeeper's not loaded. Oh, he's dead here. I know who this Canadian skin is. I saw them in the kill feed, and they always use the Canada skin. But this guy's a good player. I have fight this guy at Grim Gate several times a week. The Bloom player under him. No one has touched Emma Frost yet either, which is good. Like, the fact that no one rushed Emma is good. People can just kind of play for fights, and then once the POI is completely clear, deal with that first. Artemis NPC. Or GG's. Nice, he's got a purple striker arrow there if he wants it. And he just gets beamed, unfortunately. 50 health. I believe there's just somebody above him, too. And he might be marked because a firework went off. The spectator doesn't really show marks, so I don't know if he's marked or not. Those bubbles are really good. I feel like that's one way a lot of people don't think to use bubbles at times, is just like using it to create a barrier between your opponent and you and your opponent. If the player that beamed him like chased, the fact that those bubbles are there to where he can't just like beam yellow is really just helpful. It ends up not mattering, but like you can never know with things like that. Like, so I think throwing those bubbles was good. He gets marked again though. He's healthy though. He can fight. Like he's not the healthiest, but it's at least not as like weak as he was before. Also has shockwaves. I really like having shockwaves when I come to Rap, just because it is such like a congested POI like this. Being able to just shock out is great, really good. Also, with the firework flare gun being added to the game, that's another item where like if I'm landing at a different POI and coming here, I really like kind of taking that. That way I can just like flare this POI and then find where everyone is hiding. That's so unfortunate. It's beamed from the end of the hallway, and it sounds like there's 2 or 3 more people here. I think he gets flared again. Wait, he didn't get marked? There's several people. I am very surprised that person like was lost when they walked in. I thought for sure they marked him and were just gonna like run in and fight, but they like he caught them off guard, and then he was able to like get damage and reset that fight. Him not chasing there was very good too because of the Chaos Agent. The Chaos Agent wasn't weak. I guess the Chaos Agent is the one with the flare, and then I don't know the name of that skin, but it's a musician. He's gonna shockwave up. Not the greatest damage though. This might be GG's, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just, I feel like that was well played, but like just really unfortunate that he kept getting beamed and then those people wouldn't fight. I thought he was gonna shockwave out, but he went up. Probably like people would critique that, but I feel like it could go either way. Like if he just tries to run and gets shot in the back and dies, like that sucks too. This Chaos Agent thinks there's somebody else here, I think. They have one more flare gun shot though. I don't know what they're like. I feel like just shoot the flare gun and see. But they seem like really sus that there's somebody else here. They like started the fight with Emma to bait it. Like to bait them out. I think someone just shot a firework at him. Confused on what's going on though. Like I don't know why they're not just like starting Emma. I feel like you use the flare gun to scare in the area, and then you have peace of mind to know if somebody is or isn't there, and then you could just kill her and get the medallion and be out. Weapon bunkers are gonna be spawning soon too. And the flare gun is like an item that like is a consumable. Like it just comes with a certain amount of charges, and then when you use it, it's gone. So like I feel like holding it for one charge was just kind of bizarre. You gotta kill the guards to pick it up. It's so annoying when they just like pile on it like that. It's mythic. And is he gonna take the fizz or no? I feel like you take that fizz and just be out. You got double mobility as well, which is something I really like, especially with the nerfs to the Iron Man gauntlets. I feel like the nerfs didn't affect it too much when you're fighting it, but if you're trying to get away from it, I feel like that's something that's much more doable now with the reduced range and with the reduced damage on it. Or with the reduced lock-on range, sorry. Like being able to just use jetpack Shuri claws and just move out of like their lock-on distance feels like something that's a lot more of an option now with the nerf to the Iron Man gauntlets, which I very much like. A fizz pad. I would want to go check like this bunker here, and then if it doesn't spawn, there's one potentially there that will spawn. This is likely going to be an area, I was about to say there's already a medallion on it, but I was going to say that'll be an area that should be like somewhat populated because the War Machine, any of these armories I feel like are always pretty contested. The Iron Man ones, obviously people want the Iron Man items, but also the War Machine ones, people really want the jetpack. And so going there and like fighting people is kind of nice, especially if you're someone who already has a jetpack, because a lot of the people that are going for it are typically going to be people who don't have jetpacks. So you have like a distinct advantage versus them. This should be a kill, but maybe not. This Lara Croft gets to the green water, but it is like such a HP advantage and a mobility advantage. Should use gets mythic shotgun. I personally don't really care for the mythic sovereign shotgun. I'd rather have one with my attachments, but I really just don't like having a sight on it. Like not everyone is as irritated by the sight as I am. He's gonna go for the pickaxe on this. Normally, I would say just starting a fight with the pickaxe isn't the greatest, but this player's clearly a good fighter, and their reaction time is good. And so I think for them, it should be fine. But I feel like if you're not the most skilled fighter, like opening a fight with a pickaxe trick, like 20 to 40 damage doesn't really do the most for you if they just get out and start beaming you, you know? One thing you need to keep in mind, though, with the fuel nerf is, like, I don't know why he's so intent on getting this kill. Like, I definitely chase people as well at times. Okay, now he should be able to do something. But it's, like, not like this person did anything to him. It's not like he knows anything about their inventory. They don't have a medallion, so I feel like hard chasing this is something that can definitely grief you at times. Especially with, like I was saying, the jetpack fuel is not as good as it used to be. He just got a scan, so he probably knows where exactly in the house this person is. They got the Iron Man item. 60 damage to open. Not the greatest, but this is a decent area to fight somebody using the Iron Man thing. Okay, nice. That is a kill that I actually would have wanted to chase. We didn't know they had Iron Man gloves at the time, but if I know someone's using the Iron Man gloves, getting rid of them is like a priority for me. For sure. I think I hear somebody on balloons outside him, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of noise going on. Yeah, okay. He's using Stark Rifle, but he's just gonna, yeah. And so you can see that this item is still very broken. Like, it's slightly more inconvenient to use. You got to hit a few more shots, but it's still just such a frustrating item to deal with. And he picked up the auto turret with it as well, so he has the most busted setup ever. And as we've seen throughout the course of the game, it's not like this person is a bad player. Like, so you have this in the hands of somebody who, like, understands the mobility in the game, understands how to, like, make decisions quickly, has a good reaction time, and they're probably just gonna fry the rest of this lobby. Where is Siphon Medallion at? Siphon Medallion's at this bunker. That would be a decent place to fight them, but, like, the advantage he has of having, like, Iron Man gloves and auto turret, I feel like isn't as big of a deal in the bunker. Like, you want to fight and, like, open area jetpacking around like how he did versus the person who just eliminated. In a tight area, I feel like the Iron Man item isn't as busted. That's why I was saying him pushing into that house to fight that person seems like a 50-50-ish, but it's like, I would rather fight them in a shotgun fight than anything else. One thing that sucks about the Iron Man item is if this person gets out of the, like, if he gets control of the car and wants to, like, AR them through the window, it doesn't work well for that. And that's something I really like doing when car fighting people. Like, you have driver's seat there and passenger, you get out and beam them a bit with AR and then get back in the car. Gee, what a good fight that was. Island is above them, so there's going to be more people coming this way. Chose to go for no heals. Unfortunately, doesn't have Siphon coin yet. I feel like if you have Siphon Medallion, that's, like, a lot more appealing to do. I really don't like having no heals. We'll see what happens, but I feel like that's just gives you little room for error. And Fortnite is a game at times where, like, timing will happen, people will beam you, and just not having a way to regain is rough. He does have a lot of mobility, so he could hopefully get away, but car pulling up on him. I feel like cars are one of the counters I like using to the Iron Man item. Not a full counter, like, you don't just get in a car and then now you're invincible, but, like, I feel like having a car, it makes it a lot more playable to fight the Iron Man item. I think he's trying to get to this car. Okay, never mind. I thought he was going to go to that G-Wagon to try to cut this person off from landing on it, but they ended up not going that direction. I would really want Siphon Medallion, though, if I was this player. Like, just since they're not carrying heals anyways. Only 6 people remaining. He keeps shooting one in the bushes and stuff to bait them, but I feel like it's almost, like, not good to do with the Iron Man thing, because I feel like a lot of people hear that and then they're not going to want to fight you. If I hear somebody shooting an Iron Man, I'm playing the fight different versus them. Like, I'm playing much safer, you know? I feel like the Iron Man item is so difficult to deal with when you get, like, caught off guard by it or someone just hops on you with it. I think he landed on that Doom statue. I don't know if they're still there or not. I was gonna say, I think he'd leave soon just because that's what he did earlier. He baited a few times, something happened, and then he, like, eventually pushed. Chilling here is also good because it's gonna allow his fuel to regen. which if you're this player and you have this setup, I feel like one of the ways you lose is running out of jetpack fuel at a bad moment. So like managing that fuel is probably the most important thing from this point on. Oof, this is a rough zone. Okay, never mind. I thought it was going into Castle Doom. He's getting closer to the Siphon Medallion, though. People up on that hill. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. I was gonna say, there's people up on that hill, but it looked like they were shooting at somebody gliding, so there might be, like, 2 people in that direction. The baiting with the unsuppressed, or the suppressed shotgun is not worked out this far. It's one shot. It's not really the biggest deal, though. Just gonna go to Overshield. It'll be back. I think he's trying to get his Shiri Claw ultimate, and then maybe he's gonna push them with it. I'm not sure, though. Person isn't in zone, though, and I think as soon as he gets to them, they'll just get in the car and leave. Like, this person is camping on top of a hill with a car. They 100% don't fight this, I think. We'll see, though. Doing the Nick A30 emote on him. Interesting. I like how they do the Nick A30 never back down, never give up emote, and then immediately get in their car and run the other direction. They are backing down. Not giving up, though. They will live to fight later on in the game. Look at this. No jetpack fuel. It's coming back now, but if a fight happened right there, that's GG's probably. No jetpack fuel, no sprint. Like, if he just got beamed by an AR, that's probably the end of the game. And that's why I was saying, like, managing that fuel is very important now. That's another reason why I like using cars at this point. Like, I feel like it keeps you a bit safer versus the Iron Man item, and it, like, lets you get around the map more without using jetpack fuel. Low fuel. And if you're playing the game now, like, this is something you can keep in mind. Because, like, everybody knows that the jetpack fuel is reduced, right? Or if you're watching this video, you know, because I've talked about it several times. Imagine if that Nick A30 in the car kind of, like, retreated, ran away, sees this person full chasing him, using all their jetpack fuel, and then just, like, eventually gets out and beams them when they're low on fuel. That is something I try to take advantage of at times, especially if I'm using double mobility and the person isn't. You suspect them low on fuel, that's like a good time for a fight to happen for you. Like if you have fuel and they don't. GG's. There's still somebody else here though, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I didn't think that was the person in the house. I don't know how they got there. 2 people remain. Do you think this person just gets in the car and runs away again? I think they do. I feel like running isn't the worst thing, but like you should run with a purpose. If you run to try to like turn the fight and take advantage of like a bad moment from that player, I feel like that's good. But like if you're just never defending yourself like this Nick A30 is, at what point is the game gonna go any different? Like this is just over. GG's. Now the other player's jumping on him. He's low fuel, but not the lowest. He's weak. Pops his Shiri Claw ultimate, and he just runs. And this is why I was like, this is what I was saying is most noticeable about the Iron Man nerf. That 10-meter reduction in range, I feel like often doesn't affect fighting range, but it can affect moments like that and allow you to get away. I don't know why he went back into this fight, though. I guess it's going to work. Age. All right, GG's, I guess. I don't know. I thought they were about to lose that. They're at 180 now, but they had Siphon Medallion. So at the time they were at 130. Like I don't know how I don't know what skin that was, but I don't know how the player who got second lost that game. I feel like that was like perfect situation for them, and then they just let it slip. Especially with the Iron Man item, it's an item where a lot of people just trade damage because it is so easy to hit shots. So having a massive HP advantage like that should have been their fight to win. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this to be helpful, informative, interesting. As you can see, the Iron Man stuff is still very good. But I feel like the nerf gives you a little more room for error versus it, but it's still just like a busted item. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.